What's up, guys? My name is Tai Zen. Welcome to the cryptocurrency.market channel. This is a trading, investing, and entrepreneurship channel. In this video, I want to talk about why it was so difficult for you or for someone else to buy Bitcoin or crypto in the last quarter or at the end of 2018 and the beginning of 2019 when Bitcoin was below $3,500 and the total market cap of the entire crypto space was below 150 billion. Okay, so now today the price of Bitcoin is close to 9,000 and the total market cap is almost 270 billion. At the low, it was floating around there close to the $100 billion mark. Okay, so since then it has grown more than 100%, more than 1x, and depending upon when you got in, you could have gotten easily 1.5x on your entire portfolio. Okay, so now if you guys look at this, right, during my personal financial journey, you know, one of the things I learned from one of the richest guys in America from 120 years ago was a guy named Henry Ford, and he said that one of the hardest things for a human being to do is to make a decision, all right, or to think. He said the hardest thing for a human being to do is to think, okay? And what he means by that is the ability for a human being to make a decision, okay? Now, if I get that quote wrong, if it's Jesus who said that, or the Buddha who said that, or somebody else who said that, don't jump on my butt about it, you know, just learn the lesson. I don't remember who quotes what. I just learn the lessons when I hear it, okay? Now, if you look at around the world of how many people we have, right? We have over 7 billion people on the planet right now. And if you ask those 7 billion people, how many people are capable of making a $1 decision, you pretty much, it's safe to say that there's at least 7 billion people that is qualified to make a $1 decision, okay? But then if you move that up, why is that? Because there's a lot of people, a lot of those 7 billion people have a dollar, or they have access to a dollar, or they've transacted with a dollar before. Now, if you look at those 7 billion people and you ask how many of those people know how to make a financial decision with $100, and what I mean by that is that how many of those people can make a buy or sell decision with $100, that number of 7 billion people gets cut in, you know, drastically, probably down to 1 or 2 billion people, because there's not that many people in the world that have $100. If you grow up in the Western countries, like the Americas, or the European Union, or in Australia or Canada, you might have access to $100 and it's not a big deal to you. But for the majority of the world, most people do not have $100. If you come to my fishing village in southern Vietnam, right? Most people there make about 50, 60 bucks a month, and they're lucky they make that, okay? And then the kids that come out of college, they make $300 to $400 a month in the big city like Ho Chi Minh City, where I'm at right now. So if you look at that, most people are not used to, you know, it's not often that they make a $100 purchase, okay? So if you move that up to like $1,000, the number of people in the world that can make a financial decision with $1,000 gets even less. And then if you go to like 10,000, it's even smaller. And if you go to 100,000, it's so small, the number of people that can, out of the 7 billion people on this planet that can do that. And even the people in the Western countries that can make a $100,000 purchase or a buy or sell decision, they don't do it very often. Like if you take someone like in America or Europe, how often do they buy a $100,000 house or $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 house? Whenever they make that kind of purchase, it only happens maybe a handful of times in their life, once, twice, 3 times maybe in their lifetime. So you don't get that many repetitions with making a $100,000 buying decision, okay? You don't. No matter what you think, no matter how much you want to be a wealthy person, your muscles, your mental muscles to make a buy or sell decision with $100,000 is very, very small. It's very, very limited. Some people never even get to practice that repetition, okay? If you go up into like $1 million, there's not that many people on this planet that can make $1 million buy or sell decision. Okay, why am I saying this? Why am I saying that there's not a lot of people that can make a big purchase decision, right? The reason why I'm saying that is because if you catch yourself not being able to buy or sell something when it's time to buy or sell, like when it's time to buy crypto at the end of 2018 and the beginning of 2019, You might have someone like me broadcasting on the video, telling you over and over and over that this is a good time to buy. You got to stop jacking around. You got to play at 100%. Sell all the junk in your house. Sell your extra cars. Sell your extra motorcycles. Sell your extra clothes. Sell your extra jewelry and put it into crypto. The reason why it's very difficult for you or anyone else to do that, okay, is because you are not accustomed to making big financial decisions. So let's say that you had $5,000 to buy some crypto, or you had $10,000, or you had $100,000. But you're sitting on the sidelines. The reason why that's happening is because you haven't practiced making big purchases or selling big items. You just haven't in your life. If you ask yourself, how many times have I bought and sold something that was worth $10,000? How many times have I bought and sold something that's worth $1,000? How many times have I bought and sold something that's worth $100,000? You will realize that the number of repetitions that you have done that is extremely, extremely small, okay? So what happens is, if you know that, instead of lying to yourself and fooling yourself into thinking that, oh, when the time is right, or hey, when we start going back into a bull market, I'll put my $10,000 or I'll put my $100,000 into crypto. More than likely, you're not going to do it, and if you do it, you're doing it at the wrong time, okay? Because what happens is a lot of people online that are fake ass traders, what they do is they just talk about trading in theory, like, oh, this sounds good. When the charts do this, you just buy here, or hey, you sell here. You all that stupid nonsense from the fake ass traders that are not trading with real money. When you trade with real money, guys, it completely changes, because real money involves your emotions. And that's how you can tell if a trader is a real trader that consistently makes a living from trading or not online, is if you hear him give you solutions and techniques on how to trade when your emotions are involved, okay? Most traders do not talk about that because they've never actually traded with real money. So I'm sharing with you guys the stuff that really happens when you're a real trader trading with real money and with large sums of money, okay? Even, and large sums of money is relative, guys. $1 million for me right now is not a big deal because I've made that several times. But $1 million, for me, 10 years ago, was a massive amount of money. It was a massive amount of money. I have never seen that before, and when even thinking about it was difficult, okay? So don't think that just because I'm $1 million trader today, that it wasn't difficult for me when I was only trading $1,000 or a $10,000 trading account, okay? So if you're starting off with $1,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 or $100,000 trading account, I know how that feels, okay? And I'm about to show you guys how to do that. The way that you do that is by doing it a little bit at a time. You do it a little bit at a time. And that's why me and LeonFu.com, the great oracle of crypto, my business partner, my trading buddy, we've been telling people we buy a little bit, okay? Because we don't know if we buy it, let's say if I need to buy $100,000 worth of Bitcoins and I buy it all at $3,500, or let's say I buy it all at $4,000, it drops down to $2,000. Emotionally, I cannot handle that. I'm gonna be devastated. Mentally, I don't care what anybody says, it is going to be devastating mentally when you first start out. You buy, you take a big chunk of your life savings and you go buy crypto with it, and you see it every day going down, right? So what you do is you break it up into smaller chunks, okay? So what happens is, I highly recommend when buying Bitcoin or any crypto, you buy it in small chunks. You take what you have and you split it up into like 10 or 20 chunks. So if I have $100, I'm gonna buy $5 at a time. And I set it at the same schedule. Like, hey, every week I'm gonna buy $5 with the crypto. Okay? If I have $1,000 and I say, and you know what? Every week I'm gonna buy $50 of crypto. Then every week I'm gonna buy $50 at the exact same time every day. Every week I'm gonna buy it. If I say it's a monthly schedule, I'm gonna do that every month. And the reason why on Wall Street they call this dollar cost averaging. Okay? They can call whatever they want, right? They can call that all they want. I'm going to tell you this, is that the process that I'm sharing with you, it's called buying in slowly and then selling out slowly when it's time to sell, okay? So people are trying to catch the absolute bottom. Oh, they want to buy Bitcoins at $3,200 and then wait until it gets to $20,000 and sell exactly at $20,000. That is a bunch of BS, and anybody that tells you that they can do that is full of it, okay? If Bitcoin goes from let's just say, for example, so that the math is easy for my head, okay? Let's just say if you buy Bitcoins at $5,000 and it goes to $20,000, there's $15,000 worth of profit in there, okay? If you are a beginner and you have never been taught professionally how to trade, if you've never studied our cryptocurrency investing blueprint and you've never been formally taught how to trade, like you just randomly just went online and started buying crypto on your own, and you are able to capture 5,000, okay, 5,000, 5,000, 5. If you're able to capture 1/3 of that movement, you are an amazing trader. Okay, that's an amazing trade that you just made. If it moved, you got in at 5,000, it went to 20,000, and you're able to pull $5,000 out of that $15,000 move, you're able to pull 1/3 of it, you're doing fabulous. So what is someone like a professional or someone that's experienced or somebody that has a lot of time trading and they understand how to trade, like someone like myself, how much would I expect to get out of that? So if it moves from 5,000 to 20,000, there's $15,000 worth of profit in there. I expect with my trading skills to be able to capture about 2/3 of that move. So if you capture 5,000, you're doing fantastic. More than likely, I am going to capture anywhere between 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,000, somewhere in there, okay? And if I can do that consistently, I'm doing a fantastic job. All these broke-ass traders out there and all these idiots out there that tell you guys that, oh, they get in at 5,000 and they sell at 20,000, that's a bunch of nonsense, okay? You might get lucky once in a while doing that with like $100. You might get lucky doing that once in a while with $1,000. You are not going to do that consistently with $100,000, with $500,000, or with $1 million, okay? I don't care what anybody says. And if somebody can do that, I want to see it. I'll pay to see that, okay? I will pay to see that. I'm not, we sell the best cryptocurrency investing and trading program on the planet, and if somebody can do something better than us, I want to learn it too. I'm not one of these guys that think, hey, I'm the absolute best trader out there and that there's nothing else left for me to learn. There's still stuff that I need to learn, okay? But at the meantime, I haven't seen any other traders online that I would care to learn from, okay? And if you guys see somebody that I would care to learn from or I should learn from, drop a comment below so I can see, or send me a tweet and let me know that, hey, there's a guy out there that trades 100 times better than you or way better than you, Ty, and you need to learn from him. I'll be happy to do that. I'm not one of those ignorant idiots that think that they know it all, and there's nothing left for me to learn, okay? But I'm gonna have to see that those guys are trading in the 9 figures or more before I even bother listening to them, okay? Because other than that, there's no point in me wasting my time learning from them, okay? In other words, I gotta see that the trader does better than me before I learn from them, okay? So anyways, back to what I was saying. When we average in, right, what it does is that it controls our emotion. Like emotionally, if you guys remember how like when you first bought that car for $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, or when you first bought that house for $300,000, $400,000, right? It was, you notice how long it took. It took like months, right? If it's the first time you bought it, it might take weeks and it might take months. I know for a fact, if you buy a house, that might take 6 months to a year for you to make that decision. And if you think about it, the reason why is because it's such a big purchase that you've never made in your life. And you want to know if, hey, did I make the right decision? So what happens is emotionally, it's too much. It's too much emotional stress for you to make a big $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 financial decision to buy that house. So what you have to do is you have to trick yourself and you think about it every day and you say, let me go home and think about it today. I'll think about it tomorrow. I'll think about it tomorrow. I'll think about it. And what happens is you're dispersing that emotional stress inside your head of having to make that big purchase, okay, to make the decision, to sign that paper, to make that big purchase. So you and your spouse have to, every day make a small decision. Okay, I think we should buy that house. Yeah, what do you think? What do you think about, the property? What do you think about the streets? What do you think about the school? All that nonsense is just so that you can, I'm about to go bonkers on you guys, okay? I'm a high school dropout, right? You guys know I'm a high school dropout. I'm not one of those Asian guys that's good in math and science, but I'm about to drop a bomb on you guys, okay? The physics, the scientific word for it is called dissipate, okay? I can't believe I'm saying this, okay? The word is dissipate, okay? What it means is that it's like when the law enforcement people, the military people, they go out there and they get shot, if something shoots them, it can go right through them and kill them, right? So what happens is they wear a bulletproof vest, and what that bulletproof vest does is that when that energy from that bullet comes and hits them in the chest, it dissipates that energy and it puts it over a wider surface, so it's like getting hit by a car instead of getting shot and going right through you, okay? So by making those small mental decisions to buy that house every day or that car every day, that big purchase item, what we're doing is we're mentally dissipating the emotional stress of making such a big purchase. So what happens is the same thing happens in the market. So when we've been making videos, when you watched all my videos and you saw that I was saying, hey, talk about playing at 100%, now's a good time to buy crypto, you gotta buy some Bitcoins, you gotta buy it, you gotta load up, you gotta buy a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. You watch my videos, I never once say, go all in and buy, take all your life savings and just buy it all at one time. I say buy a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. And I know this because I've seen it with so many of our students and so many of our clients, that mentally it's very difficult for them to do that. So that's why in the Cryptocurrency Investing Blueprint, we show them how to buy a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. And then even as the market goes back up, we still buy a little bit at a time. But there's a point where we say, hey, you know what? There's no more, okay? Like I said it over and over that, hey, once it goes up above a 200 billion market cap, I'm not buying anymore. Or if Bitcoin goes above 6,000, I'm not buying that. Okay, so now that it's hit those numbers, I'm not, and then people are still asking me like, hey, are you still buying? I'm like, dude, I made videos over and over in 2018 and 2019 saying that I'm not gonna buy Bitcoins above 6,000. I'm not gonna buy any crypto above a 200 billion market cap. The only time I would buy or sell anything above that is to rebalance my portfolio, okay? So I've been saying that, and the reason why myself and our team, we teach that in the Cryptocurrency Investing Blueprint is because we know from working with people over the years that it is not easy for someone to make a financial decision. And we highly recommend that you start practicing it, even if you only have $100. I would buy like 10 bucks here, 10 bucks there, 10 bucks here, 10 bucks there. Or every week when I get paid, I'll put 20 bucks into the market, 20 bucks, 20 bucks, 20 bucks. And what happens is that it develops your muscle, your mental financial decision-making muscle, so that you know how to make that, because you're going to need that when your portfolio gets up to 10,000, gets up to 100,000, gets up to $1 million, gets up to $10 million. You need that financial decision-making muscle to work. You cannot hesitate, because when it's time to sell, the time to sell is less time. Like buying because the market crashes and it goes sideways, you have more time to make that decision. But when the market shoots up, it shoots up very quick. And if you have not practiced your mental financial muscles to make a decision quickly and take action on it, then you are going to be left behind. And that's the reason why when we did our last cryptocurrency, when we recorded our last Cryptocurrency Investing Blueprint training program, we had some students ask us, Ty, if a beginning trader and an experienced trader like you, Ty, both know when to buy and when to sell, why is it that the beginning trader can only take a third of that move, can only capture a third of that movement or that trend, while you can capture 2/3 of it? And the answer is very simple, guys. The answer is very simple. The reason is because I have practiced more repetitions, and I will actually do it when I see it on the charts, whereas a beginning trader, even though they know the same thing I know, when they see it, they won't take action on it. Okay? I'm making this video, guys, because, I just got a text message today from a plumber / home builder / remodeler, and he's a Hispanic guy, a Mexican guy out of El Paso, Texas, and I was introduced to him, and he came to Dallas to remodel my home in the summer of 2017 before the Bitcoin Cash fork. And I kept telling him, I kept pushing him that, hey man, you should take a portion of your labor in crypto instead of just all US dollars. And he was like, man, I don't know about this, this is dangerous, I don't know anything about it. And I said, dude, look, I'm gonna put it on a hardware wallet, I'm gonna put it on a ledger for you. All you gotta do is just keep this ledger, okay? And there's 2 pieces of paper that has the seeds the seed words on it. All you gotta do is keep that and put it in a safe at your house. And in the future, if you need to sell it, you can find me or somebody that you trust, and then they'll activate it for you and turn it on and then send it to the exchange and cash it out for you. But more than, you know, and he knew several of my friends that he could trust with something like that. So I said, you got 3-4 people that can help you with that. So and they all know crypto, so there's no fear about that. And he was hemming and hawing, he wasn't sure. And then finally, you know, he saw me days after, you know, day in, day out while he was remodeling my house. He saw me making videos like this and talking over and over about encouraging people to get into crypto. And finally he decided, hey, you know what, I will go ahead and get some crypto, you know. And so he started taking a portion of his remodeling costs, the labor costs, in the form of crypto. So I sent it to him and put it in his hardware wallet for him, put it in the ledger. And after that, after he was done remodeling my house in the summer of 2017, by the end of 2017, he was going through some hard times financially with him and his only daughter. He's a single dad, and he's like over 50 years old, okay? So he was saying, hey man, I really need to cash that out. And I said, dude, man, you can make it happen, bro. You've been living for 50-something years, right? And you didn't have this money, right? And you really need to let this grow. You really do need to let this grow. And what happened was he kept saying that, man, I really need it. You know, can you help me cash it out? I'm like, dude, you know, we agreed that if we put it in his ledger, you're not going to touch it until at least a year, so that you don't get hit with, you know, a lot of taxes. That you get only charged the long-term capital gains tax, which is 20% in America. Well, for him, it's 15%. Right? Because he has a lower income. And because of that, you know, so he stopped. And then in 2018, sometime I forget, in 2018, he asked me again, hey, he called me up and goes, hey man, can you help me cash out the money that's in that ledger? And I said, no, man, like it's still not a year yet, man. And he was kind of disappointed in it, you know, but there was a part of him that trusted me, right? So fast forward till today, right? And he updated his ledger with the help of a trusted friend. And they looked in there, and he had close to $20,000 in there. And that was the biggest sum of money he'd ever had in 50-something years of his life. He had never, at one time, ever had that kind of money in his life. He said that the most he ever had was maybe a couple $1,000, and that didn't stay there for very long. And he was almost in tears, right? To find out that he had almost $20,000 in Bitcoins and other crypto inside his ledger. And you know, he knows it's there. You know, he went on the Block Explorer, he checked it, he went to the Ledger Live, he checked it, confirmed it. So he knows it's all there, right? And I told him, don't sell it yet, man. Well, you know, we're on the way up, bro. We're on the way up. Don't sell it yet. You didn't need it for 2 years, you know, for almost 2 years already. You don't need it now, okay? And it was the first time in his life, guys, that mentally, you know, there was a sense of freedom. There's a sense of fulfillment. There's a sense of financial security for once in his life, because he has a very young daughter. That, you know, he had a daughter very late in life, and it was just him taking care of the daughter. And for him to be able to do that is a huge achievement for him. He never in his wildest dreams did he ever imagine accumulating $20,000 worth of wealth. And I share this with you, not to, you know, brag with you guys of what I did with this this Mexican home remodeler, okay, this plumber, right, that was remodeling my house. But I'm sharing that with you guys because just a small amount, guys, can make a life-changing amount of profits in crypto right now, okay? And I think that I strongly believe that we have another 3 to 5 years of this before it starts to normalize and become stable, just like the stock market does. And even then, we'll still have very good returns, but we won't have the massive returns where you can get 1 or 2x in just a few months, like we did since the beginning of the year, okay? Like, for example, I got into Bitcoin Cash. A lot of people thought I was nuts. I tweeted out that, you know, I'm converting all my Bitcoin cores into Bitcoin Cash, and since then it's been up like, you know, 350% versus like 200 something percent in Bitcoin Core, and people thought I was nuts to do that. I'm like, why am I nuts? Why am I nuts to put my money on a trade that I did my analysis and saw that there was more profit potential, okay, in it? All right, so I want to wrap up this video, guys, and just remind you guys, if you don't practice making the small financial decisions each day, each week, each month, when it's time to make the big financial decisions, your mental financial decision-making muscles are not going to be prepared to make those big financial decisions. So start today. Start by making small, decisions. And if you want to know more and learn more about how, myself and my team members became, million-dollar traders in the crypto space, right? Go get you a copy of the Cryptocurrency Investing Blueprint today. Don't jack around. Stop trying to figure it out, for the cost of what it is, it is a huge investment in yourself. Don't think of it as a waste of money. Think of it as an investment in yourself. You're learning from the best traders out there that's sharing you real world trading. None of this, you see those guys online that's doing technical analysis every day, like how much time do you have to do that much technical analysis, man? You know what I'm saying? I always ask myself, like, I trade, right? And if these guys have been in crypto just as long as I have, why aren't they? There's no way that they would be able to do all that stuff with the portfolio. If you're trading a multi-million-dollar portfolio, you're not going to have time to jack around with all that technical analysis every freaking day. Trust me on that. Okay. So if you want to learn how to do it right, okay, from the very beginning, and you want to learn how to secure your crypto correctly and right from the very beginning, and you want to learn it from the guys that have been through the trenches and been through the minefield and now are creating a record of it for others to follow, go get you a copy of the Cryptocurrency Investing Blueprint today at cryptocurrency.market/blueprint. Go get your copy today. Stop jacking around and take advantage of this market so that you can make some life-changing profits, okay? There's no guarantees that you'll make it, but with the Cryptocurrency Investing Blueprint, it will significantly increase your probability and increase your knowledge and potential, okay? So go get a copy today, and I will look forward to seeing you guys in a future video. Thank you.